and welcome to another episode of me driving to work, talking into a camera. At least not fully distracted anyway. So, yesterday, I don't know what happened. Work started out very, very smooth, manageable, under control, and then just hit the fan. Come on, people. Light is green. Let's go. So, yeah. Very smooth day. Nothing that we couldn't manage between me and my coworker. It was just the two of us at this time. Then all of a sudden, some switch went off. Something went off because all of a sudden, we went from having single-digit patients. I'm talking about, 5, 6 people total in the whole ER. Immediately blew up. We went to double digits, 15, 16, 17, 20 plus, and continued into the night. And we're talking about late into the night, 11, 12, 1 in the morning, and we're still seeing double-digit patients and people still coming in at this time. The thing is, our ER is only 12 beds. 12. So once we get to 12, we're at capacity. Anything beyond that is beyond capacity, hence the word. So it doesn't take much to for ER and basically maintain that stat of beyond capacity. But last night was just something else. And it was definitely a mixture of regular people coming in for the usual BS. And then you had people calling 911, either from their own homes, like family member or something, or from a facility if they're coming from like an ALF, which is an assisted living facility. And last night I had a few of those too, and it wasn't even for anything out of the ordinary, especially for some of these patients. Older folks, they don't have the strength that they used to, so they fall easily. They're on some sort of anti-clotting medication for their heart, so what ends up happening is any little scrape, bump, or bruise that causes an open wound, they basically bleed profusely, and it's ridiculous. We didn't get any of that. What we got consistently was older folks with AMS, and that stands for altered mental status. These are folks who, for some reason or another, their mind is basically checked out. They have no control over themselves. They are prone to wander off, to wanting to do things on their own, similar to how folks with Alzheimer's are. Except, folks with Alzheimer's, they still have some sort of physical control. They still, will go to the restroom, things of that nature, at least to a degree. MS is full on, like, unable to speak, unable to, to just function in any kind of sense. Like, even speaking to them, you get no reaction. It's like it's like the lights are on, but nobody's home. You know what I mean? And the, couple of people that came in, they were just completely gone. One lady was even like you could tell she was trying to get something in terms of communication, trying to speak. What came out was babble as if it was a baby, and she was drooling like one as well. And it was, you know, sad to see because, this is someone who at one time was probably, sharp as a knife, um, probably carried on great conversations with people, was probably, very caring, or maybe even just completely very well liked by, family, friends, their community, and now reduced to babbling, drooling mess simply because of whatever was going on in their head. And yeah, it's tough to see, along with the many other things working in an ER. And I would hope that one day I never reach that point, ever. Like, I've told my family, if I'm ever to a point where I am unable to care for myself, I'm unable to function in any kind of, independent way, throw me in front of a train. If I'm in a wheelchair, wheel me in front of a train, or a long walk off a short pier. What I'm saying is, let me go. It's not worth it at that point. If I am no longer who I am, both mentally and physically, get rid of me. It's not. It's not worth spending the money taking care of me. By all means, throw me in front of a train. Just do it. Make it quick. And, like I've told my family as well, when I do pass, whether it's sooner rather than later, don't spend any money on me. Don't. I actually came up with a great idea the other day. Instead of spending money on a funeral, or even just to get me cremated, or whatever, you go, oh, spread it over the ocean. Don't do that. Donate my body to science. Let some medical students, practice cutting on me. It's not like I'm going to feel it. It's not like I'm going to care. I'm not there. I'm gone. And that saves not only a ridiculous amount of money, but it also saves a ridiculous amount of time. And the whole having a funeral and inviting people, just telling them, look, he died. He's in a better place wherever the hell he believes, and that's it. Body donated to science. No? And that's it. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth the money. It's not worth the headache of dealing with that. So yeah, if I'm ever to a point where, again, I am unable to function independently, toss me, get rid of me. And when it does happen, spend zero money. Donate me to medical college, or to the scientific community. Let them experiment on me, figure out what to do to make me tick for a while. Hell, if it was some sort of mental thing, hey, let them have my head. Maybe they'll be able to figure out what went wrong so it doesn't happen to somebody else. Like, if my body, after I have passed, can serve a purpose to aid others, you get my thumbs up. Because at the end of the day, spending all this money on a funeral, the arrangements, headstones, a casket, what do I care? I'm dead. Even people that spend money on like the clothes, like, oh, he has to look the best 3-piece suit. No, I don't. So I barely wore 3-piece suits when I was alive. Why the hell do I want to be buried in one? It's again, it's not worth the headache, the money, the effort to set up something like that when the person it's for can't see it, can't experience it, can't enjoy it because they're dead. So you know what? It's not worth it. Not worth it in the least. Should probably put all this down on a will or something. Yeah, probably should. Because, if you don't have stuff written down, and, this has happened many times, if you don't have it written down, specifically stating your wishes should something happen to you, there's always going to be those one or two yahoos in your family who are just going to say, no, I believe this is what they would have wanted. And yeah, it's no, nope, nope, and nope. We are not going to do that. Not today, not tomorrow, not ever. Not doing that. So we're going to go ahead and continue with that. I don't want to ever be in that position, ever. So yeah, to get away from the morbid, continuing to drive to work, a little bit of traffic on the way. Why, I don't know, but probably people just trying to get home and whatnot. So yeah, it's always fun. People trying to get home, and here I am trying to get to work. There, nice opening. I can finally switch over. Yeah, these people gotta do a better job of driving. Way better job. Like, it's not, this isn't a race. This isn't like, you can't look out for number one while driving. Slam on the brakes there because some people, again, can't drive to save their own lives. Yeah, it's people, and thankfully, I'm going in the opposite direction from where most of the traffic is going. Everything I just passed right now, they're heading west on the major street that I was on, and it's toward a large intersection of highways. We're talking about like 3 highways merging together over there, and from there, people can pretty much get to where they're trying to go. But thankfully, I'm going toward that. I'm actually driving away from it. I'm driving north now to get onto one of those highways, but at a different point, to basically skip that garbage. Simply because if I was to take that all the way, first of all, I would be, in a sense, driving away from for a distance to then have to double back to get on the highway, all while being stuck in traffic. Yeah, we're not doing that. Even though this particular avenue, which leads to this other on-ramp for this particular highway, has its issues, simply because this road does pass through a couple neighborhoods. So there are houses on either side of this road with driveways that exit out directly onto the road. So yeah, there's some Yahoo started to back his car out, from his house, or they'll come out, head first, because some of these driveways are, are semicircles. So they're able to drive around and come out, give them a better view left and right when they gotta go. But yeah, I wouldn't want to live in a house that has a driveway that immediately empties out into the street, especially a busy street like this one. No, that's just asking for trouble. But yeah, thankfully, this particular path that I take to work involves me traveling in the opposite direction where most of the traffic is going. So I get to see the traffic, but I don't get to experience it in most cases. Yay. Um, the only thing is, driving surface roads, you got to deal with, the street light, traffic light. Oh my God. If there was only a cop, give you fools a ticket. Because you would need one and you would need one. The corner that I just turned has 2 lanes dedicated to turning to the right, which is what I just did. Right hand turn, it's got 2 lanes. There are turning lanes for the 2 lanes. However, here in the state of Florida, I don't know how it is everywhere else. I think it's pretty much the same everywhere else. But if the light is red and there's no oncoming traffic and you can safely make that right-hand turn when the light is red. But in this particular case, because there's 2 lanes that you can turn right on, only the rightmost lane, that's the one directly next to the corner, is the one that you can turn right on red. 2 geniuses in the left of the 2 right turning lanes, went on red, both of them. That problems, mostly because most of the people turning to the right, like myself, then have to immediately shift to the left lane to be able to get on the highway, which I am on now. But if you got these crazy people coming in from that right turning lane, doing that right turn on red, same as you're trying to do, you start moving to the left. But now you got this genius next to you who has no business being there. Keep in mind, the light was red when this happened. And that's why we need police officers actually doing their jobs, at least when it comes to traffic citations. Now, should there be cops everywhere? Probably not. But if they were enforcing those little infractions, they wouldn't have to bother people like you and me when we're just trying to get from point A to point B. And they're pulling us over because we went 2 miles over the speed limit. Or our front tires passed the white line at a stoplight. You know? Like, time could be better suited toward actually helping people instead of harassing people. But that's a different story. So, yes, I am on the highway. People, that was a bag, black plastic bag. Trying to make my way to work. I don't know what gets into people's homes, but 60 miles per hour technically is a highway speed, right lane. If you're anything other than the rightmost lane and you're only doing the speed limit, you have no business there, especially here in South Florida. Like, let's go. We all have places to be. Me personally, I hate being late. I hate being late to work. I hate being late to appointments. I hate being late to anything. So, if I have the opportunity to push the needle 70, 75, just so I can make sure I am not late to where I am needed, to where I need to be, guess what? Push the pedal to the metal. Thankfully, my exit isn't too far from where I get on. Maybe 5 minutes of actual driving time at a decent speed from where I got on to where I need to get off. Come on, dude. You're trying to get on the highway, I'm trying to get off, and you're making 0 attempts. Let's go. That far. If I had to drive a longer distance, I would be in that leftmost lane doing 75, 80, and gone. Because, as I said before, I hate being late. Detest it even. And I actually get angry when I'm late. And I don't like being angry. Not in the slightest. Huh. So he's transporting a bat. It didn't look like it, but I hope it was tied down. So yes, getting off the highway now, which immediately leads to a red light because I left and go under the overpass to continue to where I'm going, which is work. And the name of the streams that I do in the car. Yep, someone else doing what you're not supposed to do. 2 lanes to turn to the right. There's clearly a sign, no turn on red except from right lane. Or rightmost lane of the 2 that you can turn right on. And sure enough, there's people in the second lane turning right on red, potentially cause an accident or whatever problems might arise from doing that. But yeah, red light, here comes the green, let's go. There's also train tracks I got to cross over, which thankfully there isn't any. There was, it would just be a delay of everything. Simply because, and I don't know for people that live near railroad tracks, but when the sticks and lights come on, the sticks come down, the train is about to pass, any street lights that are either on or near that particular crossing immediately change so that people needing to go into the direction of train tracks in order to cross them have an extended red light, so it forces them to wait even longer than, say, when there isn't a train. This is very particular close to where I live, because where I live just west of some railroad tracks, but there's a major road that a lot of people use in Florida just east of those railroad tracks. So cross traffic, trying to get from west of this major road onto this major road, or even east toward the beach. Whenever a train passes there, which they've now extended to 2 sets of tracks, the lights immediately change. Anybody wanting to turn left or right to cross over those railroad tracks immediately get the red light, and they're forced to wait an extended period of time until after the train has fully passed. And even then, all that does is restart the cycle of lights changing, letting who goes first, and then from there. So that's all it does. It doesn't even say, okay, now that the train has passed, we'll let all these people we've held up go. Nope, not how it works. All that does once the train has passed is it resets the cycle, so that you have to wait for the next full cycle of light changes before you'll actually get to go. Kind of frustrating, especially when you're trying to get someplace. Somebody parked over here has one of those sunshades with the characters from Avatar: The Last Airbender on it. That's pretty cool. And the colors are kind of off, so I'm guessing it's to older, sunblind. Definitely faded a bit from exposed sun, but still cool nonetheless. So yeah, I have just parked. Oh my God, there's a car direct parked across from me. They back in, so I can looking at the back end of their car, and they have a sticker in the rear windshield that says, "Florida is my vitamin C, SEA." It's in like ocean seawater, and I'm just like, really? Like for that, just put the salt life on, just be done with it. But whatever. That's enough of that mess. So yeah, I've arrived at work. I start getting ready to get out of here, get my ID on, get my mask on, get myself inside. Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and cut it out here. Guys, have a good day. By all means, don't be that person that is going to impede someone else's life in any way, shape, or form. Be good to each other, be excellent to each other, and yeah, be safe out there. All right? Have a good one.